So as we all know, the first case of COVID-19 in Malaysia was detected on the 24th of January 2020. The WHO country office in Malaysia has been working closely with the Ministry of Health to respond to this outbreak. In Malaysia, the movement control order was implemented started from the 80th of March and was in place until now to control the spread of COVID-19 nationwide. One of the hardest hit sectors during the COVID-19 pandemic is the creative industry. In our case, the 3-month lockdown has impacted upon all players in more ways than one. I would like to introduce our panel for today. The first panel is Mr. Muhammad Sufyan, the UCTS Creative Media Lecturer. Before joining UCTS, Mr. Sufyan was working as a photographer and a graphic designer. Welcome, Mr. Sufyan.
Borak.
Right? Our second panel is Mr. Vanden Mekkel. Before he joined UCTS, he is also an entrepreneur in digital media and videography. He also experienced in creating launching video, corporate video, and commercial ads. Welcome to Borak Santai, Mr. Vanden.
Okay, welcome. Yeah.
Alright, as per mentioned earlier, the topic is on creative media, public awareness during pandemic outbreak. Our topic will be focused mainly on the impact towards creative industry, the implementation and the opportunity of creative media during the session of pandemic COVID-19 outbreak. I would like to remind the viewers to leave your questions on the comment space and we will have the panel to answer the questions for you. Alright, before we move further, can I have the panel to briefly explain the meanings of the word creative media?
Our moderator, Mr. Borak. Right, before I'm share a little bit about what is the creative media. Okay, creative media. Creative is creative. What is creative and what is media? Creative is relating to involving the use of the imagination or original idea to create something. This is the creative. And then the media is the material or tools used by an artist, composer, or designer to create the artwork of art. For example, if I'm a photographer, my tool I'm using is camera, right? This is what this media means. Okay, digital media is a digital technology is transforming the way we make, distribute, receive, and exchange art. By creative media, we mean artistic and culture work and content, digital platform, or distribute digitally to reach the public. Alright, in digital media, in the creative media, you must have the originality in your artwork, which is
right.
an original media comprised element that are rare or surprising, or that move away from the obvious and commonplace. The focus in the uniqueness of the idea or features combined in the artwork. For example, Mr. Vanden as a videographer, as a music composer, I can see the style, Mr. Vanden's style in the music video in terms of color, angle, and composition, music style, and then Mr. Vanden more focus on the music video like Iban song, right? Okay, Mr. Vanden. Okay, for flexibility, uh, and the creative media scoring high on flexible smoothie link the product to range of a different use or idea, which is, for example, Z King. Z King is a visual effect artist. How they combine visual effect, illusion, and camera trick in their artwork for Z King. And elaboration, many creative media contain unexpected, extend simple idea, so they become more creative and interesting. Show one slide. They become more creative and stages. For example, Protonas Raya, which is they only use the simple subject. For example, Burung Murai as the main subject in the video. Okay, and how you can see the creative artists, how they develop the idea using the simple subject. For example, the Burung Murai. Okay, artistic value. We can see creative artwork with a high level artistic creativity in content, aesthetically appealing verbal, visual, and sound element. This is for the artistic value. Alright, we go to the creative industry. What is a creative industry? Creative industry are business model that depend on the creativity, where is work on usual value. In other words, is in an industry where work can be a dramatic success or failure based on your creativity. All your income or your customer based on your creativity. If you have a good background in the creative media, you can get more job. And then all the client want to see what creative you are. Before you see your background, your portfolio, I think this is what we call is creative industry. If you want to enter in creative industry, for example, design. Design include visual design, user interface design, product design, and interior design. For music, composition and performance and television. For film, production, movie, documentation, and television, and advertising and promotion, marketing, communication, such as promotion music video, like Mr. Vendu for your business, right?
Okay, thank you for
All right. To creative art direction. Right. In creative art direction, we have the creative vision, decision making, creative output, and work process. The first is the creative version is the developing an overall mode of design, which is tone, feel, and the message. This is for the creative version. For the design making, for decision making is making the final call for the creative decision to achieve the creative, but all decision made by your own client, because you already know the customer is already right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then the creative output, directly creating such as a designer or brand concept for the final output or final product. And then for the last is the creative, which is start your, before you start your product, you must have your idea.
Yes.
And then you already have your idea, and then you proceed to your, you do a research, and then you proceed to your what you call it as sketches or prototype.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what we call as the creative process. You have the process. Start from idea,
Brainstorming.
yeah,
First,
brainstorming, research, sketching until the final product. This is what we call is the work process. All right. We go to the role of creative media during the pandemic outbreak. Okay, this one have three. Create the source of the information. You as a designer, you must create the good information in your design. And then the second is the, as an influence on the public respond to outbreak. How your design can respond, can community or the public can see, can reflect based on your design. And then the number three is the powerful way to bring positive vibe or to a scary time. I think they have. Okay, this part of the positive impact when the COVID. Proceed for the number four is the creative media positive impact of the COVID-19. Okay, first is animation. How animation can educate, for example, for the children, right? Focus more on diving awareness about the COVID can be educational. For example, the Monster Studio, how is currently working on the brand new concept about the COVID, which is and the preventive to avoid future infection. For example, how they use the animation to educate the children when see the watching
the advertisement.
advertisement. All right, and then also Didi and Friends. Now they put on the new song to educate family on washing their hand properly. For the Didi and Friends. All right, and then we go to the second is the boost family relationship using the technology. You can playing game in you can playing game with your family. It's not only game. Maybe you can create your own YouTube channel, and then you can record or documentation your daily activity with your family during the MCO. I think this is
The best way.
best way to boost your family relationship.
Yes.
And then third is inspire creativity among youth, which is dedicate space in your creativity at home, which is creative, which give them to explore, give them to learn about the technology, explore their creativity using camera, give them freedom to take any picture wherever you want. It can expose them more about the technology, especially camera or video camera.
Yeah.
And then the last is energize positive invention for the entire family. All right, that's all for my slide. Thank you.
All right. Such a precise and detailed explanations of the creative media meanings from Mr. Sufyan. All right. Based on what has been addressed earlier, what are the long-term and the short-term effects during the COVID-19 pandemic on the Malaysia creative industry?
All right, thank you, Barbara. All right, for the long term impact of the economic recovery, it's the creative industry itself, which is where most the creative industries such as drama, film and animation production are contractual. If they have a job, they have money. Um, Throughout the implementation of MCO and filming is provided to prevent the spread of virus. Thus, it will cause filmmaker to lose their source of income. For the short-term effect, creative artists have begun to think finding a solution creatively. They utilize technology as a medium of delivery. Here we can see how important technology in the event of a disaster that happen in our country.
All right, Mr. Sufyan. All right, just now.
Thanks for inviting me today. So, in my opinion, the positive effect of COVID-19 pandemic on creative industry is the existence of unlimited creativity. As we can see, there's a creative artists diligently looking for solution to deliver their work. As an example, Hari Raya advertisement, they use animation technique to replace the filming outside during the implementation of the MCO. So the animation is a one of the best media convey a message to audience to audience accompanied by audio visual. Okay, okay. In addition, we can see that the government, among the effort made by government, they are doing competition like poster design and short video competition. So indirectly, it's foster the interest of young people to in the creative world of media. And also, I also produce a PSA video on awareness to break a chain of COVID-19. So we can see, we can play the video.
Virus COVID-19 yang tersebar melalui titisan bersin atau batuk akan merempak melalui saluran pernafasan dan paru-paru manusia. Struktur virus ini mempunyai 3 bahagian utama dan spike glycoprotein akan melekat pada ACE2 dan mendorong virus ini memasuki sel-sel manusia. Pada fasa ini, virus COVID-19 akan terbuka dan membenarkan RNA terbebas untuk menggonam sel-sel yang lain. Maka, sel ini telah diinfeksi dan menghasilkan jutaan virus COVID-19 yang baru. Langkah-langkah pencegahan penularan virus corona COVID-19. Sering membasuh tangan. Guna tisu ketika bersin atau batuk. Guna hand sanitizer. Sekiranya tidak sihat, guna topeng muka. Amalkan penjarakan sosial.
Alright.
Alright. Such a great initiative from Mr. Vanden.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright. So now, Mr. Sufyan, can you tell us more about your opinion as a creative artist? Why did you choose digital art as a medium to convey awareness to the public about the importance of breaking the chain of COVID-19?
Okay, based on my opinion, we are now in the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0, where the process of industrial transition that bring us more flexible is known as the globalization. We are also in the process of upgrading high-speed 5G internet connection. Thus, the internet is a fast medium of information delivery to the community, and digital media can be done through videography, photography, graphic design, and audio recording. As a creative artist, during the implementation of the MCO, we are put the pressure on restrain the movement to create. However, us to think more creatively to produce your artwork. In the context of current trend, social media is the best platform to present the artwork. Now we can see the present of many content creators produce their representative video that convey about consciousness of breaking the chain of the COVID-19.
Yes.
Creatively. For example, we can see now parody video, song, and podcast.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sufyan. All right. A reminder for the viewers out there. Okay, before we move to the next question, I would like to remind again the viewers to leave your questions on the comment space, and we will have the panel to answer the questions for you. All right. So my next question is, now, as we all know, we are still in the implementation of the RNCO. The university students are not yet allowed to attend face-to-face learning in the classroom. So this is to prevent the spread of COVID-19 among students. As a digital creative media lecturer, Mr. Vanden, can you share with us how did you overcome the obstacles to conduct your class?
All right. So, as we know, the creative digital media program is more focusing on practical more than theory. So it's present challenge and pressure between lecturer and student to continue learning session. Okay. Furthermore, we also experience internet network constraint in Sarawak, especially student in the rural area. It's who it difficult to access internet. So now we use Google Classroom as a platform to conduct learning session, and some subject they involve computer software like 3D software. So they are using video recording. That is the method. Okay. One of the reason we use this method is that slow internet flow will cause the learning lesson to be longer, and sometimes it's stuck. Yeah, that's it happen.
Yeah.
It happens. Okay. Also, students can refer back the tutorial step so they can understand properly. However, we can see the existence of student creativity through the work where the pressure and challenge lead more creativity. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Next is so Mr. Sufyan, in the context of society, can you put into perspective on give benefit to the community, especially during the implementation of the previous MCO?
Okay. We already know during the implementation of MCO that Malaysia are not allowed to do any outdoor activities.
Yes.
Many many economic sector have had to close temporarily to break the spread of COVID-19 in the workplace. For entrepreneurs are also affected during the implementation of MCO. However, they take the initiative to do the online business. We can see the creative media play its role in the marketing sector. That this has a great opportunities for the graphic design, photographer and videographer to get a job during the MCO. They will produce advertisement to market their client product and social media using the social media platform. Thus, it can be generate income among entrepreneur and designer during the implementation of MCO.
All right. Okay. Now, so here, Mr. Vanden, apart from online business, can you explain more on any other methods for the community to generate income during the implementation of MCO?
Okay, in context of society, the creative idea is produced when there is a creative source of reference, and this make them want to produce their work in a improvised way. For example, video on awareness break the chain of COVID-19. Okay, the way by apply their digital media skill, such as shooting technique, uh, the addition of visual effect in videos, and compose of music, like music composition. Then they can upload their video artwork on YouTube, and in YouTube also YouTuber can their work while watched by public. All right. Beside that, music artists can upload their song on digital music store as a platform. Okay, indirectly it will increase their income. Okay.
All right. So here, I need both of our panel to explain and share with us the direction of creative media industry for the future. All right, especially for our country, Malaysia. So may I have Mr. Sufyan?
All right, based on my view, creative media in Malaysia is able to love the industry sector more, where the creative media industry in Malaysia can produce a good animation or 3D animation. For example, you can see Upin Ipin, Bobo Boy, Agent Ali, and many more.
Yeah.
Our creative media is also recognized by the outsider.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, Mr. Venon, what do you think?
Okay, all right. So my opinion, yeah, we see situation in Sarawak itself. Creative media industries has started grow by over the past few years, where the economic sector began to involve creative media as a online marketing medium. We can give example of promotion like transportation, construction, hospitality, tourism, food and beverage, fashion, and so on, the sector. And here we can accept the challenge of our ministry that mentioned that digitalize our economic sector. All right. Therefore, we must produce many skilled workers, especially in field of creative media. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, another question for Mr. Vanden. Based on your opinion, what are your advice for the students who love to learn more from the YouTube tutorial to enhance their skills in creative media?
All
What
right.
do you think?
All right. All right. Actually, it is one of method of process learning, a learning process. But one thing student must remember that they need to present their progress to their lecturer and get feedback from lecturer. At the same time, they will earn more knowledge, then they can understand about foundation, value, term, element, and principle. Beside they have learned about critics process in a good way. Same goes when they get ready to join the industry. Then they will face the critique from the client too. Yeah, this is my opinion.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Vanden. Okay. I was so impressed with a lot of medium and approach that we could engage with using any creative media skills to bring impact during the challenging pandemic COVID-19 period. So after the sharing session with both our panel today, I believe that most of us are now aware of the importance of creative media skills, especially in the critical period of time. So now is the time for the Q&A session with our panel. Okay, so let us listen to the questions together.
Yeah.
The first question is from Miss Nur Eza. Okay, I love being creative and innovate, but always insecure about my work. Even people think I am artsy people. Any advice to overcome these situations? Any advice for Miss Nur Eza here?
Can you read that?
Okay. The question is, I love being creative and innovate, but always insecure about my work. All right. Even people think that I am artsy persons. All right. So, do you have any advice for Miss Eza to overcome her fear? All right. In confirming that she is really an artsy person, and she can believe in her own work. All right. So,
All
any
right.
advice from
Okay,
Mr.
for
Smith?
me, if you want to be a creative person, you
Alright.
just express or impose or your creativity. No need to
Okay.
care about what the what the public talking about you. Just give the best what you have. Just show for the community you are the best creative person like that. I think it's not what he said. What she said.
Mm-mm.
Is care
Yeah.
about what the
About
committee
her
yeah,
fears
fear. Yeah.
in doing
And
his work.
also, the most important things is confident
Yeah.
with our work. Like me, I'm always do shooting outside there. Even nowadays, well, in Kuching, um, grow,
Yeah,
yeah,
grow
grow.
fast.
Then, but one thing we must think about, must confident with our work,
Yeah.
and then don't forget about fundamental.
Oh, yeah.
Fundamental is the
Very
basic,
important.
and second is understanding. So if you are strong with these two, um, people cannot
Blame you.
don't
Argue with
argue
your
about the arts.
opinions.
There are two
Alright.
things:
Okay.
fundamental and what I said just now.
Basic knowledge about art.
Yeah, fundamental and what um, I
Um,
forgot it just now. Yeah.
Alright, okay, such a positive and good advice from both our panel. And we have another questions from Miss Karunisa. Okay, Miss Karunisa is asking for a friend, okay, who is interested in graphic and animation. Okay, the questions from Miss Karunisa is, what about the job opportunities for graduates? Alright, upon completion of these creative digital media programs. So, do you have any opinions on the job scope that the graduates from graphic media and animations graduates will have once they have graduated? All right. So
Okay, Surrender? Can or
Job scope.
yes, the job scope, job opportunities.
Graphic designer,
All right. Okay, one of it is
one
a graphic
graphic
designer.
designer,
Mm-hmm.
and then entrepreneur,
All right.
and then um, these two things.
All right.
Yeah, but I advise that fresh
Fresh
graduate
graduate.
Yeah.
must work with other company first, because we want the work experience, because they can give you experience like environment, about critics,
Yes, the working environment,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
working and
creative
critics,
environment,
how
dealing with
dealing
design.
with client.
Yeah.
Because one thing, we guide the client to the good good design, and then once that's depend on the graphic designer, if they want still join that company. If they want to be an entrepreneur, so they need to know about that knowledge, how to deal people with other people, with company and government sector.
Alright.
All right.
Okay.
For what
Miss
Karen
Karenisa.
Karenisa,
Mm-mm.
based on the question, I think for the creative, for the opportunities when they finish their degree or whatever state, they can go to any sector. For example, graphic design, for wedding photography. And based on my experience, I'm graduate from fine art
Yes.
from Unimas. And then
Mhm.
how can I? The first is I work at advertising company, which is how I learn about how to design, how to using the camera, how to learn about the system in the advertising. Okay, I think don't for me. I think
Don't be
be
don't questioning
don't
yourself
question
about
about
your skills.
yeah
Just be
go
confident.
be confident,
One
and
important
I
things
think this
from Mr. Valen now is
very lot of
confidence, is
opportunities.
it? Yeah.
What's that, yeah,
Because there are a lot of opportunities
yeah,
we can see
you can
outside.
see,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So
Okay. Okay. We have another new questions from our viewers. Okay. The question is about talking on the current market opportunities. All right. What is the suitable industries we can take part, and how we can convince to the potential students that this creative media can lead to better career? Okay. Do you have the clear questions? The clear meaning of the questions?
can you read?
Okay, I will repeat the questions
Yeah.
once again. Okay. Talking on the current market opportunities, okay, what is the suitable industries we can take part, and how we can convince to the potential students, all right, that this creative media can lead to a better career. All
Okay,
right.
thank you for the question. Okay, for me, I'm not expert in animation, which is I don't have a lot experience how to deal with the 3D.
Mm-mm.
And then when I see Mr. Vanden work using the 3D, I can what you call it as I like to explore, I like to learn about the 3D. It's why
So it's all about your
it's all about
passion.
your passion.
Yeah.
Then I like when the Mr. Vanden give a tutorial about 3D Maya
Mm-mm.
or SolidWorks, I can see the 3D is the 3D is can be my next what you call it next knowledge of it. That's all. For my opinion.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Sufyan, for answering questions from Davina Chendang just now. So now we have another one questions.
Wow.
All right, from Mr. Wan Muhammad Hamidi. Hi, Mr. Wan Muhammad Hamidi. So the question is on. Okay, we know that using creative digital media methods are really helpful during the pandemic COVID-19 season of
Yeah.
COVID-19 season. But how do we measure the success of awareness among society on this method? Okay, I repeat again the questions. Okay, we know that using creative digital media method are really helpful
Yes.
during this pandemic 19 session. Okay, but what do you think? How can we measure the awareness among society on using this kind of method?
Uh, okay. We can see our children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kids love
Love
love something to
first.
do with animation,
Yeah,
those graphic
yeah.
things, is it?
We can
Yeah.
see. Okay, children said, "Mom, I must wash my hands before I eat
Mm-mm.
COVID-19."
Yeah.
Just like my niece, they said to their mom,
Yes.
because the powerful of creative media,
Mm-mm.
the medium, the best way, because the character,
Mm-mm.
color,
The
intercolor,
colors that they are using in
ah,
the video,
yeah,
the music, all the
the shape
things.
of character,
Mm-mm.
they catch the eyes of kids,
Uh,
then deliver to their mind
mm-mm.
what the message, they involve the message, and then they can receive what the importance of breaking and chain of COVID-19.
Alright. So I'm really agree. Alright, because once the kids they are interested in those things, they keep repeating and doing those things that they have seen or watched, okay, on the TV or anywhere, they find it, okay. Their parents also or the adults also they will also know the things, alright, and they might repeating the same things, keep telling their kids to do the same things. Alright, so that is how alright awareness is and also among the youngster
Yeah.
or the young children. Alright, no, now okay. I hope that this answer, this questions, the question from Mr. Wan Hamidi just now has been answered by both of our panel today. So I think there is another one question here. Okay, I check again. I no questions. I think no more questions. Okay. Another one questions here. All right. So the question is, during this pandemic outbreak, can we say it was an opportunity in disguise for content creator? Okay. What is your opinion on this? Okay, I will repeat the questions, okay, for the viewers outside, okay. The question is about during this pandemic outbreak, can we say it was an opportunity in disguise, all right, for content creator? Are there opportunity in this challenging season? Okay, what is your opinion?
When using the how you find how you
How you apply your
apply your
skill
skill
during this
during
challenging
the
season of pandemic COVID-19?
yeah
Just now you said that um,
So the question is about is it a true opportunity for us to
yes,
use our skill?
yes. You know when implementation of MCO,
Mm-mm,
most people stay at home.
mm-mm.
Then they don't know what
Yeah, they're
to
trying to
do.
find any works or any
Ah,
job, right?
then
for the designer or for the artist.
To come out with the
Yeah, come on
talent,
the talent.
to polish back their talent,
Yeah.
right? And all those things. All right. I think I'm still waiting for another questions. No more questions. All right. I think no more questions from our viewers. So thank you for answering the questions.
all right. Thank you.
Just now.
Welcome.
All right. So okay. Before we end, so as a conclusion, all right, the creative content and technology industry is fast growing. So knowing this, Malaysia is keen on accelerating further the creative development segment and the massive pool of talent keen to delve into this new market space. So this includes building new digital technologies, all right, just like how Mr. Vanden and Mr. Sufyan has explained just now, all right, growing the ecosystems and ensuring its effects are translated to give value beyond the digital space. So thank you for both our panel. Thank you, Mr. Sufyan and Mr. Vanden, for the opportunity to be interviewed. Okay, if you have any questions, all right, any questions and inquiry about the course offer at UCTS, all right, do walk into our campus. Our campus is Campus University College of Technology Sarawak at Sibu. And for those around Kuching, please visit our Kuching Marketing Office at Jalan Kulas. For more information, please visit our website at www.ucts.ed. Subscribe to our UCTS official Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube channel. Alright, that's all from us today. Goodbye and see you again next time. So hi, I'm Barbara. Welcome back and good morning. Welcome to Borak Santai session live from UCTS. Okay, on this session, we will have different panel and different topic to be discussed. Alright, so we are going to discuss about the topic industrial design beyond aesthetics and ergonomics. First of all, let me introduce the two experienced panels for today's session. The first panel is Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Firdaus Abong Abdullah, the Head of Program, Bachelor of Arts in Industrial Design. Welcome and thank you for joining us today, Dr. Firdaus.
Thank you for inviting me to the session.
Alright. So, our second panel is Mr. Ahmad Lutfi Muhammad Lassa, Lecturer, Bachelor of Art in Industrial Design. Welcome to Borak Santai, Mr. Lutfi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Alright, before we go further, I would like to remind the viewers to leave your questions on the comment space and we will have the panel to answer the questions for you. So, what is industrial design? Okay, why do you think the product exists as it is, and why it is designed in such a way? All right, just like what has been mentioned earlier. Okay, the topic is on industrial design beyond aesthetic and ergonomics. All right, so we always heard of the words industrial design. Although industrial design has been around for a long period of time, there are still a lot of people that are not familiar with the terms or the word itself, especially in Malaysia. Now, can I have our panel to tell us more about the meanings of industrial design? This, Dr. Fidas? Okay.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Right. So yeah, as you can see from the word itself, industrial design, there are two key words, which is industrial, and the other one is design, which are literally scale. Okay, which design is done in such a way that there are a number of very important consideration uh, for uh, for for the designers to consider before embarking into the design process, which is such as the aspect of optimization of functions, value, and also the appearance of the product. And this is done, and this consideration is benefits of both the user and the manufacturer. Okay, so if we look into this deeper, okay, the product is designed in such a way that it must consider the user, consider the user. So it's not user, but also um, for the benefit of the manufacturer as well, right? Um, Consideration to the first industrial revolution and free, okay, where mass production of identical goods started, right? Before this, okay, um, design is all done in a smaller scale, uh, by craftsmen or artisan or any other person who is creative enough to produce product. Okay, but during the industrial revolution, okay, designing or producing product become masses, become mass. It's produced for the masses. So the act of design become separated from the act of making, right? So if you look into the okay, if you look into the slide itself, right? The first picture of our sewing machine. Okay. Look at the design. It's very elaborate and very very artistic in design. Okay, okay, and there is more to a craftsman's work. Okay, craftsman or artisan work. Okay, but when industrial design come into the picture, okay, this this design, okay, this type of product need to be when it's need to be produced for the masses. Okay, the craftsman or the designer cannot afford to work in such a way that it will hamper the production of more product, because it is very elaborate and very what do you call it, very artistic, right? So it can only be produced in a very small scale, right? Okay.
All right, thank you, Dr. Fidas, for the precise and very detailed explanations on what is the meanings of industrial design. All right, now my question is, Mr. Luffy, can you share with us why does industrial design is so important? Can you explain more about the contribution of industrial design in the product development?
Thank you for the question,
All
Ms.
right,
Barbara.
okay.
So, as we all know, that industrial design is a field that basically is develop an aspect of a few configuration of aspect, where industrial design put this kind of aspect into a design, into a product, create emotional connection with the user itself. So with this, they are visually create an appealing aspect where attract the user to use it, or to own it, or to everything. So when you say about the importance of industrial design,
Yes.
these are the profession that interconnected almost on a human ability, ergonomics, engineering, physics, and everything into a one product based on the objective of the primary design work. So this is why I said the importance of industrial design is very a great impact in one of product development. And other than that, uh, design is also having a good impact in researching and branding and everything. So this, with all sort of information, it serve a good life to the end of user. All right.
Okay, I think Dr. Fidas have something to add on these
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. So, uh, as time progress, okay, as time progress, we come back to the history just now.
Mm-mm.
As time progress, okay, several design movement has emerged during the industrial revolution, such as the Bauhaus school, Art Deco, okay, modernism, okay, postmodernism, and eventually industrial design became a professional discipline. Okay, the designing at that time became a professional discipline, which is known today as industrial design lah. So and as time progress from the industrial revolution, we goes into the early 1990s to the late 1990s and into the 20th century. Okay, uh, okay, design has been driven by uh, change in technology. All right. So because of this, industrial design specialized in design of commercial product. Okay, which appeal to the audience and could be manufactured at scale. Right.
Mm-mm.
So in contrast to the craftsman's design, which I mentioned earlier just now. Okay, in the past. Right. Industrial design now look at the bigger picture of designing product. All right. So but however, okay, it must be noted that in modern R&D, right, in modern R&D and design process, industrial design, they don't work in silo. They normally work in a multidisciplinary team uh, to produce a successful product, right? Such as the industrial design will work with the engineers, design engineers. They will work with the marketing. They will work with finance to come up with a product which meets all these um, aspects, right? So, yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Fidas. Okay, the idea of designing something that can potentially influence or improve aspect of people's lives was very exciting. Now my question is, I'm feeling curious about how important is design in our everyday life. So Dr. Fidas, how does it influence our social and personal perception?
Yeah. As you can see, design, or specifically industrial design, is everywhere around us. If you look around you, you look around your house, you look around the campus, this UCTS beautiful campus, right? Uh, Industrial design is all around. Okay,
Mm-mm.
industrial design is all around you. Okay,
especially if you look at all the beautiful design, nice design. So the first impression that a lot of people will have is that the look of it, the look of the product, right? Take for example, if you want to buy a car, okay, uh, regardless of local made car, imported car, right? Uh, as long as it is nice, right? The first impression that the potential buyer will say is that, wow,
Of
look
course,
at
the
that
appearance,
car,
is it?
it's so nice and beautiful. That's the first impression that they will say, right? And then um, after that, then there's the feel of the product. Okay, this goes into the how comfortable the car is. Okay, when you go into the showroom, okay, when you go into the showroom, kan, Chelsea, kan, you go into the showroom, okay, you want to buy a new car. When you open the door, you look at the car. The first impression is
The
the
beautiness, the
beautiness of
detail.
the car,
Yeah.
the shape of the car, the color of the car. Okay, that attract you first, right?
Yes.
And then the second one, then you go in there and you touch it. Okay, you touch the door handle, you open it. Okay,
Experience
with
everything.
the sound of the door opening,
Yep.
and then you sit in it, and then the second impression is that you get the feel of
Comfortness.
the comfortness of the car. Okay, you sit in the bucket seat of the car. Okay, and then you will look around inside the car, the ambience of the car, the dashboard of the car. It all feel so nice and so good. Okay, so that is what industrial design is all about.
Yep.
It creates a feeling uh, of coziness,
Yeah.
coziness, and a feeling of comfort. Okay, and that is specifically aesthetic and economics. Okay, and on top of that, there are other consideration as well. Right, after the aesthetic, after the economic, then people will tend to go into the performance of it, the handling of the car, the fuel consumption. But that one is you have to drive the car first lah. The first thing is the look of it. The second one is the economics. Okay, the feel of it. Okay, right. So uh, industrial designer. Okay, industrial design. Um, they work in a small scale. Okay, they work small scale. They don't actually focus or work into a large or a complex product like shipbuilding or Airbus. Okay, industrial design. Okay, focus on a specific product or specific parts of a product. Like for example, okay, if Airbus were to design a huge aircraft, a passenger aircraft, okay, industrial designer, they might not be working into the whole design of the aircraft,
The
okay,
whole
the wing, the engine, okay, but they will look into the interior parts of the aircraft, okay, the seats of the aircraft. Does it feel comfortable for the user, for the passenger, the ambience, the lighting in the aircraft? That is where industrial designer focus into, right? It's not the large and the complex design of the aircraft itself, right? Right. So when you go into um, if you go into an aeroplane, okay, when you go for holiday and you sit inside the aircraft, okay, then of course the first thing you will say is that it's so nice, comfortable, right? Betul tak? Especially if you want to go into apa tu, a long distance flight, kan? So you must feel the comfort of the aircraft, right?
I'm basically totally agree with you. With this kind of question, when Ms. Barbara said about the application of applicable of industrial design in our daily life, it basically not only with the product appearance or the designing itself, but in a certain industry or certain company involved, it's a solution provider. It's also a solution provider, not entirely design, but for example, the door hinges, the ease of the door to open. So it's not entirely the appeal or the outlook itself. It's also a day-to-day problem issue solving. So this is what we call industrial designer as well. Because all we know, in a time, people are always know, all right, this is what product design, industrial design do, industrial design that, design this. It's all merely of a product. But it's image of timing, as what Dr. said, revolution earlier. This is what we call industrial design start to involve in daily life. In a daily life, everyday daily activity, so they can elevate of improve quality of life.
Quality of life. Yeah.
This is we call industrial design.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lutfi. Okay. Wherever we aware of it or not, okay, designs around us and can might be found in the tiniest places or an item. So, before we move to our next questions, all right, I would like to remind again for the viewers out there to leave your questions on the comment space, and we will have our experience and expert here to answer all your questions. All right. So my next question is for Mr. Luffy. Okay, Mr. Luffy, in your opinion, how does industrial design affects the product users or the society in general?
In it, it's a very interesting question, Ms. Barbara. Thank you for asking. First of all, it involves three big aspects. It involves aesthetic. It also involves ergonomics. It's also involves user experience itself. So, by the meaning of aesthetic, if we took from the dictionary itself, it's the beauty of art, particular of taste, approach to what pleasing sense. So what we call sense, the appealing aspect. This is what we said about aesthetic. The designer used aesthetic to complement their design itself. So this is as a general aesthetic mean. In ergonomic terms, where the applied sciences are used to solve day-to-day life a problem. It's also talking about. It is also elaborate about the interaction of human and between machinery, human between our activity itself. The third one is user experience, when a designer itself combine this aesthetic and ergonomic to fit or to to make sure the user are full of using of it. Fit is like Dr. Fido said earlier, it's comfortness, it's a comfy, pleasure. So this is as a general industrial design involved with.
So, I think I have a question for both our panel. So, question is on aesthetic and ergonomics are two very interesting terminology in design. All right. So when we discuss beyond aesthetics and ergonomics, all right. Can we start with the first panel, Dr. Fidas? Can you expand further or elaborate further about this beyond aesthetic and ergonomics to the audience?
Yes, of course. Right. So yes, industrial design, as we have mentioned just now, okay, it provides beyond just aesthetic and ergonomics. Okay, it provides beyond aesthetic and ergonomics, and there's another aspect of industrial design that's very important, like Mr. Lutfi has mentioned just now, which is user's experience. Okay, user's experience, which literally mean the experience of the user. Okay, when using the product. Okay, and normally people will say, right? Normally people will say that user's experience, it's a term which is usually is associated with human computer interaction. Okay, yes, of course, industrial design covers exactly that, right? So that is why in UCTS, the industrial design program is in School of Computing and Creative Media, because we are an interdisciplinary program, okay, which you go into design. Also, we go into
The sciences.
the sciences, yeah, especially computer, right?
So in industrial design, okay, the output of industrial design is done through the process of user-centered approach. Okay, so we look into empathy. Okay, empathy means that the designer should or must feel what the end user want. What do they need, right? So because like we like we always said, okay, designer cannot work based on their own feelings.
Yep.
Okay, that is what we call design shot sendiri lah. Okay? Design shot sendiri. Okay, so designer cannot work by designing product shot sendiri. Okay, it's not the designer designing a product for themselves.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. Yep.
it's designing product for the user, for the end user. Okay, so in the process of designing a product, they must understand what the user want. Okay, betul tak, Cik
Yep.
Yuti? What the
Correct.
user want. So they must have empathy. Okay, when dealing with designing a product which is going to be used by others. All right. All right. So um,
Actually, we also prepared a few slides regarding this kind of beyond.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Lofty have done a nice slide. All right.
So beside what I would like to add something like what we call beyond meanings in a big topic of our topic today. Beside beauty, we also in the design also provide
Yeah. In beauty itself. In
yeah
the beauty
in
itself.
beauty
Yeah.
itself it's provide amusement where it can enhance. This is some value that we call it additional value where it enhance user experience. Where it's fun to use it. It's not it's not bored when
Yeah.
you use
It look nice.
It look
It
nice.
look funny.
It's all of functionality.
Yeah. Apart from that, it's functional.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the next slide, we have MRI scan for children. Mostly children a bit scared or feared of MRI because they feel it's so it's so big. One
So
thing.
scary.
It's so scary. Another thing.
Yeah.
So they feel insecure whenever that the doctors ask them to use it. But there's a certain hospital like we have in the first image. They start to create some others value. They create fun.
Fun
They
mood
create
into
mood.
into the machine.
Yeah, they make a boost emotional
Yeah.
where children are or the patient, the children as a patient, not scared to use it.
Yeah.
In fact, they want
Right.
more.
So-
Why this session is
Yeah.
being short? Something
So
like that.
so in this way, okay, the patient just now kita memang dah tahu kan, the patient they are not well, of course. So they tend to have this very low self esteem, kan?
Yeah.
They are hurt in some way, okay. So we don't want, okay, when they go for checking, okay, the medical checkup, they will tend to be more scared, okay,
Yep.
of their situation and their health. Okay, so the industrial designer job is to give some emotional boost, okay, to the patient, okay, so that they will they can get rid of the scared feeling just now, right? Right. So that's why the designer, okay, can turn around all those scary machine into a very very change the mood into a very happy mood lah. Yeah. Right.
All right.
Yeah.
There's there's another more where we call in the scope of aesthetic. It's
Yes.
also they like with unexpected. This is where we thought it was for example, if you can see the cigarette in a certain country that they make this cigarette is actually a tea bag. So nobody else is actually expecting it was a functionality as a tea, even though that it gives a different kind of meaning, not very positive kind of meaning. But however, we is as industrial design, provide this kind of sort of a solution to a customer want to boost their own marketing, something like that.
Yeah. So industrial designer come up with a product which people never thought of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a product that is unexpected. Okay, people will say, "Oh, what is that?" Okay, actually, it is for a different application, right? And industrial design also, okay, design product, okay, to elevate the everyday action. Okay, take for example, from the side that you can see there. All right, normally,
The one with the king Arthur.
yeah. Okay.
The king
If you look
Arthur
at the
sword.
middle of the slide, there's a sword inside the stuck in a rock or in a stone. Okay, that is supposed to be a King Arthur sword. A King Arthur sword.
I think
And
it's Excalibur, right?
Excalibur, yeah. Okay. And when you hold an Excalibur, that give you a sense of a special power. Okay, you become strong. Okay, and that design is translate into a different, a really different kind of product, which is
The
uh,
toilet bowl brushes.
yeah, toilet bowl brushes. Okay, yeah, when you see a toilet bowl, okay, a lot of boys, a lot of children, when their parents ask them to, okay, boy, you go and
Clean the toilet.
clean the toilet, boy. Say, alamak, gitu. Why do I have to do that? Okay. And but okay, but industrial designer come with an idea to come up with a design of a toilet brush, okay, which
Which can make the children
one
wanting to
to
do it,
want to
the
do
house
that,
chores,
because they
something
feel
like
that
that.
by holding that
Yeah.
toilet brush in the what do you call it, the Excalibur toilet brush, okay, they have the semangat to cuci the toilet lah, kan, right?
All right, thank you for the very informative and interesting explanation from both our panels. All right, so I think we need that's all the questions from me. I think we need to move to the times. It is the time for the Q&A session with our panel now. So let us check on the questions. Okay.
Cukup cukup masa
All right. Also, a questions. Here is a one questions from Nur Ezah Muhammad Aiman. All right. The question is about: do you have any advice on divided attention? All right. So, what if we are too focused on designing a product to make it beautiful without thinking about the resources of making the product? So again, I'm going to repeat the questions. All right. So, do you have any advice on divided attention? All right. What if we are too focused on designing a product to make it beautiful? Okay, that is something to do with the aesthetics of the products without thinking about the resources of making the product. So, what do you think?
yeah.
Right.
Okay, Mr.
I
Lutfi.
think what I can relate with this kind of question is the beauty of industrial design is it's not only thing of the aesthetic. The important of to understand the design brief, which is that it gives you a design objective. So with this design objective, actually is a parameters that allow you to do certain uh, early design to promote to the client itself. When okay, let's say I've been given a task, something like this
Right.
from a client. What I do, the first thing is understand the brief, create an outline or objective, make a criteria, and present it in a preliminary stage to the client. Then we go to the next question. According to based on the question bank, what if they're doing a design without thinking of resources?
Yes.
It's basically you can do this kind of exercise in the education part, but in the industry you have take both of aspect in early stage. what do we have, the kind of resources. The most important is how much is the cost,
Yes.
because it's going to represent or mirroring image your company or your product itself. So when you do the exercise, you need to understand which base are you on. Are you on the education side, or are you on the industry side? If you're on the education, go wild. I mean, go wild is go beyond aesthetic that you can be, because in education we are allowed to do so, but in industry we are not. We are bound
Yeah.
to a cost.
Yeah. Well,
Especially.
yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay, just let me add, in designing, okay, there are rules and regulation that you have to
Yep.
follow. You cannot simply go out there just sketch, okay, and that is your design, right? So initially, the most important thing that you have to do is to get the brief, as what Cik Lutfi. Then from the brief, uh, your client, okay, let's say if you work for a company, all right, or if you have a client who wants you to design a product, okay. So once you have the brief from the client, okay, the first thing that you need to do is to come up with your initial research to find out, okay, and to establish your product design specification. That is the first one, which is very important. Okay, so based on the product design specification, okay, everything is all there. What you need to do for the aesthetic, what you need to do for the ergonomics, what you need to do for the resources. Okay, how are you going to obtain the raw materials? Okay, how are you going to test the thing? Okay, how are you going to even to sell the product itself, right? So that is very important. Product design specification is very important, because if you already have, if you already establish your product design specification, then pretty sure that you won't go astray. Okay? You won't go anywhere. You will focus on the design that you are doing, right?
Okay, thank you for answering the question from Nur Ezah Muhammad Aiman just now. So we move to the next questions. Okay, it is a questions from Encik Hassan official. Okay, what is important of design process in industrial design? Because nowadays, especially among the student, okay, most of them lack of knowledge, especially in design process, and they do reverse engineering. Okay, I'm not sure about what does these words mean. All right. So again, I will repeat again the questions. Okay. What is important? Okay, in design process of industrial design. All right. Because nowadays, especially the student, okay, based on Encik Hassan opinion, most of them are lack of knowledge, okay, in design process. All right. So, uh, can you share with us your
Yeah.
opinion regarding these questions?
Like I mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all trained industrial designers, okay, all trained industrial designers. In fact, during the first year of a student, okay, doing industrial design program in universities, okay, they will be taught of the very first thing is the basic design process.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the basic design process. Okay, uh, whether it's designing designing a simple product, okay, designing a complicated product, okay. The design process is all the same.
Yep.
Okay, it follows the same flow, it follows the same method, okay, except that the product will be different lah. Yeah, okay. So design process is very important because it guides you, okay, it guides you into producing the correct steps into the designing stage, right? From the background research, okay, and then into establishing the product design specification, and then producing the conceptual ideas.
Yep.
Yeah, betul tak, Cik Uti? The conceptual ideas, and then choosing the conceptual ideas to be developed into your
Concept design.
concept design, and developing the concept design into the final product, okay, the final chosen design, right? So
Going into the reverse engineering, okay, reverse
Yeah,
engineering
reverse engineering.
that was mentioned just now. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Normally, okay, this one is happen. Okay, normally if um, the project or the product that the acquire is it already exists. Okay, the product that already exists. Okay, and they want the designer to come up with a similar product, but probably a different look, different features,
Mm-mm.
additional features. Okay, that is where the designers or the student designers tend to look into the existing technology. Okay, which already is in the product, in the existing product, and from there they will redesign it back.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
redesign, they will take the technology in the existing design, they will look into the design of the existing product, and they tend to redesign back, okay, and produce a similar product with a different look,
Yeah.
or
A
improved technology,
different features also.
different features. Yeah.
I think other than that, maybe Encik Hassan mentioned about the student always do reverse engineering in a
Mm-mm.
certain
Reverse
design process,
engineering.
right?
Yes. In the
So,
design
as
process.
per what Dr. Firdaus explained, it was a process, it was a guide for us so that we are not astray from the objective. When we talk about another opinion and another thought about reverse engineering, a bad thing about this for a student, we are call it. I think there's a certain phrases call it preconceived mind,
Mm-mm.
where when the student having this kind of preconceived mind, basically they will not follow through the right design process. So
Exactly.
it will costly costly the design itself, because in this kind of processing it's involved iteration. When a student does not understand the design process from the beginning until to the product design ending final product, so they already have preconceived mind, they may skip this a certain and make a lot of mistake and maybe come out with something silly final design or unused design,
Mm.
not well objectify of their own design objective.
Yeah, it doesn't meet the
The design
objective of
objective.
of the design.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
All right. So I hope that the answers, the explanations from both our panel are answering the questions from Encik Hassan. Now, should be the last question, I think. So, okay. The questions from Mr. Rahman. All right. Okay. Focusing on nowadays education trends, do industrial design have similarity with entrepreneur or industrial engineer itself? So again, I repeat the question. Focusing on nowadays education trend, does industrial design have similarity with entrepreneur or industrial engineer itself?
Industrial designer, upon graduation, if they are fresh graduate from a industrial design program, okay, let's say that they graduate from UCTS,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in a bachelor degree of bachelor of industrial design, okay, from UCTS, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wide choice for the student, okay. Either they want to work in the industry, or they want to be their own boss, okay.
Mm-hmm.
They want to become a freelance designer, or they want to have they want to establish their own design firm, okay. So there is no boundary in industrial for industrial design student in their career path. Okay, they can
Okay.
be a professional designer. They can be an entrepreneur. Okay, there's a lot of industrial design student, previous industrial design student in Malaysia who are now successful entrepreneur. Okay, and some successful industrial designer also work as R&D manager, design manager in a big firm like our national car firm, okay, Produa,
Mm-mm.
Proton, okay. They also work in electronic companies like Dyson, okay, and some other furniture company, okay, in Malaysia, which are very successful now, right? So I remember, like I mentioned earlier, okay, um, industrial designers, okay, they cannot work in silo, okay, they have to work with in a multidisciplinary team, which involve also industrial engineers, okay, involves industrial design engineers. So industrial designer work together with industrial engineers to produce very
Various product.
various products, right? So they work together. Yep. Okay, they work together.
All right. Thank you for to our panel for answering the questions from our viewer. Now, as a conclusions, all right, design can make a larger impact by helping people to see the influence of industrial design has on their everyday life. So something that is more than self-expressive and emotional effect. It is more than identifies or understand a need, then set out to find solution. All right. So industrial designers seems to develop integrate all aspect of form, fit, and function, optimizing them to create the best possible user experience. They also create visually appealing design that can stand the test of time and ensure that product is ergonomically suited to fit the user, including how they will live with the product. So, thank you for sharing the knowledge with us, Dr. Fidas and Mr. Lutfi. Now, all right, okay. If you have any questions and inquiry about the course offered at UCTS, do walk into our campus, University College of Technology Sarawak. And for those around Kuching, please visit our Kuching Marketing Office. For more information, please visit our website at www.ucts.edu.my or like and subscribe to our UCTS official Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube channel. That's all from us today. Goodbye and see you again next time. Right.